What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today we have in front of you none other than the Legacy United G1 Triple Changer Sandstorm. Now, this is a leader class / Voyager with a lot of more weight, I guess. So that's why we're being charged $60. And in the inflation, yes, when Siege Astro Train came out, it was $39.99. When Blitzwing came out, it was $49.99, and thus this is $59.99. This is within a span of about 4 years. So just think about that, y'all. Inflation is BS. But anyway, we do get a nice, sizable, heavy, chunky figure. Starting off with the helicopter mode, because that's the first mode I started with when I first got him out the package. We're going to show off everything, but first things first, as we always do with my reviews, we show off the box so we can get it out of the way and just make sure we have everything. We'll talk about what these parts are, but it comes in this really kind of a big box. Really big box. Was not very pleased with the size of the box. It's like, why is it so big? I'm thinking like I'm getting this huge toy. It's like, literally, man, it's crazy. But, you know, he's 3-in-1. And then I guess they want you to make sure you know that he is a triple changer. And there he is on the side. Everybody's mad about the face. We'll talk about that in a minute. 19 steps to go from robot to Doom Buggy. 32 steps to go to the helicopter. And the helicopter is probably my favorite mode. And of course, it's the packaging on the side. So, as usual, you get stuff that go with the toy that you didn't get with the original G1 figure. And of course, you get this roll cage, like save your life cage, you know, which you will use in the buggy mode. But to use it in the helicopter mode, you basically just clamp it on here to the bottom. As you can see there, there's going to be a 5mm port. And you just basically put that in there like that. And now you got working helicopter. And it's got little dials where you can kind of make it seem like it's going up and things like that. And we're not going to see this again until the buggy mode. So the criteria for this is going to be simple. We are not transforming every dang on triple changing toy I have, but we will compare the triple changes that we got in the modern era going as far back as Titan's Return. But as far as comparison to what we have, we're going to compare them to the other two triple changes that were made during the War for Cybertron modern era. Now, I know Springer should be included in that, but considering I don't feel like even bothering to transform Springer, you're only going to see him in robot mode. So the triple changes that we have on deck that are going to be transforming this video, of course, are Blitzwing and Astro Train. And we will be showing them off because they are all Voyager size and they all have that heavy, you know, retooling or heavy tooling, whatever you want to call it. So in order of how they were released, the next one is going to be none other than Blitzwing, the flying panty cake, which by far is the worst move for him, by far. And then, of course, we will show off Astro Train. Oh, but wait, we can't even show them off yet. You know why? You know why we can't show them off yet? Because we didn't show off the helicopter. So, what does the helicopter do? We're going to bring them back. So, helicopter has this independent thing where they spin. Let's move that out the way because the sword was spinning. So, you know, it's like 4 blades and they all collapse a certain way. And they spin and you pull it up and then they spin. From the top here is mostly orange. And this is one of the parts that you'll see again. The only thing is he doesn't have as much yellow as he should. He's more very orangey, more a Takara-like orange in a sense. Because I know with the T30, Thrilling 30 Sandstorm, he was more orangey than yellow. But other than that, though, from the bottom, you can still see the tires. But the tires are made of rubber. The plastic quality on this thing is out of this world, man. Like, man, yeah, they, you know, no wonder we have to pay so much for them because they're like, no, we don't give you this quality in any regular mainline. Well, I tell you, boy, you don't want to give to your customers. You get it back in spades. But it spins as well, a little propel on the side. These came separate, you know, not connected. This is the bigger gun. This is the little itty bitty gun. And then this is the little spinning thing. And he spins. Just he says, now sometimes I had some issues tabbing in things here and there. But for the most part, he is pretty much tabbed in correctly. So now that we have that done, let's go ahead and show off what we were supposed to show off. We'll bring back Astro Train. Astro Train, take off! and of course Blitzwing. And they all have that heavy feel to it. But as you can see here, among them, this is probably the best mode because how everything just folds up nice and compact. And the weight of the plastic and feel of the plastic, all these had good plastic, but this one by far, I think, has the best of them all. No dirt on grime, no weird looking transformation, just a perfect transformation here. And yeah, I do dig this figure. Now we're going to go ahead and get him into the Buggy mode. And of course, we're always going to do that. Oops, wait a minute. I gotta get a good shot here. And of course, we're always going to do that in how long? 2 and 2. Had to be reversed for a second because we forgot to show off the Thrilling 30 Sandstorm. Now, the Thrilling 30 Sandstorm to me has better colors. And when I say that, because it has the, whoa, this all messed up. He looked a little weird. All right, because of the fact that he has the yellow and the orange, where this is mostly orange. There should be a little more yellow here. And I know the Japanese version made it more orangey, which I think was more toy-like, which this kind of does. But it does need a little bit more yellow to be a little bit more accurate to the anime, to the show cartoon. But you gotta admit, this is more compact as opposed to this thing. I mean, they went with the VTOL, thing, which, I mean, I guess to make him different and also to give him the buggy wheels. I guess that was the compromise they had to make, but it still was decent. I ain't gonna sit here in front and tell you that Sandstorm wasn't great. It's just that robot mode, well, that's a whole different story. But as you can see here, I mean, pretty much, he did his thing. So now we can go ahead and get them into the next mode, which will be the Buggy mode. And now we can be back in what we call 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we now have Sandstorm in his Doom Buggy mode, and we're going to show him off. Now, what happens is, of course, you flip it around, you transform it, the propellers go under here. The bottom part of the roll cage becomes like a bottom part of the vehicle, so that way it's not exposed, I guess. And then the rest of the roll cage kind of slots in here with the little winch. And you form this basically roll cage, and yeah, you got... It's the least of it, but this thing is heavy. The tires, they are synthetic rubber. Some people say they're not, but they are. He's got the little propeller on the back. Here he is in the front. Here he is from the top. Here he is from the, I guess, left side, and then in the bottom. So yeah, it's pretty clean. Now we're going to show off the other triple changes, because that's basically what we were doing here. Next is going to be Astro Train, which to me... both his modes are 50-50, and I don't use the extra box parts. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'll probably save those parts when I get Galaxy Shuttle. But yeah, this looks pretty good now. I like, you have the beefiness of the triple changes, and of course we have arguably the best mode for Blitzwing. Definitely the tank, and you can see here they all have that heavy, beefy appearance. Let's take a look at them together. Yeah, they look good, man. They look great. It's good to see them. All right, so we're going to take these off the side for a second. Then we're going to bring in T30 Thrilling 30 Sandstorm. And you can see the differences right here. Now, the one thing I will say is the cartoonish huge wheels that they used here, but that's probably why they did what they did with the toy in general, because man, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is insane. Let's take a look at that real quick. Yeah, okay, but the colors on Sandstorm are definitely correct. That's one of the biggest things I see here. So we can take a look at comparisons around, and you can see both fold up pretty good. I mean, it's one of those. Yeah, I mean, they both they transform. It's no BS, no gimmicks about it. The front is different though, because this is more like a futuristic Doom Buggy, and this is more like a traditional Doom Buggy. And then, of course, from the top, we have the gun that fits here. But the only difference is the gun, you know, of course, he has a little gun. He doesn't have a little gun, but he shoots off a missile, which we're not going to shoot. This is back when they still use decent plastics. It's not as heavy as this in a sense, but it still is very close to it. Yeah, I mean, that's it. And then, of course, here's the front. So we can take a look at that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get one more little turn there. And then after that, we're just going to go ahead and get them into their robot modes. And we'll wrap up. This is a long review. It will be back, of course, in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have Sandstorm in his robot mode. And basically, we're going to show off he's carrying that accessory. There's no real way to store him. Store that part, so I'm going to take that off. And then a little mini pistol. Now, that's the only part that I have is that the chest does kind of come off a little bit. And that the arms do kind of come off a little bit. But he's mostly going to be on the shelf anyway, so I'm not going to go through all that. So, what do we have? Let's start with waist articulation. He does have a waist swivel. Won't go 360 all the way. Arm, he can only go back to here, but he does have a decent range. Has an elbow. You know, has a little butterfly. Can turn in this way. Can rotate at the wrist. Head does kind of have a ball joint, but it is blocked by those 2 pins. Now, I know a lot of people are upset with the head. Now, I heard a rumor. I'm not 100% sure that they may be producing this with a more anime accurate head. Take that with a grain of salt right now, because I am not 100% sure that is the truth. The leg does go out here. He's got some pretty nice, decent leg articulation because they're on a slider. So you can get up there. You can get the high kick. Like I said, that does happen a lot because it's not tabbed. It doesn't really have tabs. And then, of course, you can do that. Then, of course, can he Jean-Claude Van Damme? He can do the Van Damme. Now we're going to show him off with some other robots. We'll do the honorable mention, and we're going to wrap this review up. And this will be everything I have done on Sunday. Finally. Now, this piece right here, we're just going to take out of the way for the sake of the video. I don't really care for these extra parts, and I don't want to lose it. It's not like I'm going to transform him 100 million times. So we're just going to make sure to put him back in the box because I just don't want to lose it. That's all. I just don't want to lose that part. I don't need it on the shelf. I don't need it. So we're going to compare him with first the other triple changers that were made in the modern era. Now, I know I left out Springer. I have not left out Springer. We're going to talk about Springer in a minute. But these are the most notable because they're... Springer to me is a misnomer of a triple changer. But you can see here are the... Well, let's get them all out. Let's get them all 4 out. Because that way we got all of the triple changers that are supposed to be. And yes, he's missing a sword because I put the sword on the shelf. I'm so happy they're going to be retooling Springer. And I was okay with the Siege version. As you can see here, there's Siege Springer. Let's bring him in. All of them. As you can see here, these were the triple changers in the modern era. Now, these are not all the triple changers. These are just the ones that were made in the modern era. Mainly War for Cybertron going into Legacy. This is what we got. These are the triple changers right here. Okay? So please don't get your panties in a bunch and ask going, robot Ed, he forgot to add everybody in, and he sucks, and he's terrible, he's never been a great reviewer, and I never liked him. There you go. Okay? Now, let's move them out the way real quick, and then we'll show off some other comparisons. So these are the Autobot triple changers that we have. And moment here. Now my broadside is slightly customized. He is the US version, but again, he has some of the stickers removed and some paint details added that the American version not have. So there you go. There they are. And we're going to show off his buddy, Octane, who was possessed by Starscream. But we're not going to go get the possession head today. We're just going to use good old Octane here. And this is the Legends version of Octane, so he's got the better paint job, less stickers. Really not much difference until you turn him into Starscream mode, but you can see them there, and we'll get the little last shot of them together so we can make our thumbnails. And yeah, so we have completed all of the reviews today. Let's go ahead and move him out the way, and let's just give our final thoughts. All right, we're back. One more quick comparison here between the Sandstorms. And of course, we have the Thrilling 30 on the left. You know, the right is the Legacy, and I do miss him. And like I said, mine used to not stand up all the time, but the one thing I will say is they did a good job with him. He's got some nice lines, details, the paint, the plastic, everything was on point. I'm not saying that they didn't do that with this Sandstorm either. This Sandstorm definitely has the look. But, you know, I do miss Thrilling 30. There are some things about Thrilling 30 that I liked. And, yeah, I mean, you know, be it as it may, I mean, they both have their, you know, their ups and their downs. But I still think that this one is actually the better one over this one. But I will miss him. All right, now we can get back to the regularly scheduled part of the video and final thoughts. Final thoughts on this guy. So this guy was needed. I know some of you are going to be upset that we did not get the animation accurate head. I'm a little disappointed in that too, but you know, Hasbro's trying to sell stuff, so the rumor is they may make one with that head. I'm not 100% certain as to why they would do that, but you know, it'd probably be like a special pack because it's not going to be a thrilling. It's not thrilling. It's not a Studio Series 86. No, because that's no. Blitzwing and Astro Train definitely need to be Studio Series 86. You know, to a certain extent, maybe the paint job here and there, maybe a remold head, but no, he's not. He's after the movie, so no. But he is a good figure. The only gripe I have is the chest doesn't really lock into anything, and it kind of comes off. See, it just comes right off, and I hate that. This is supposed to be like locking into something because you can see where those things are. They're supposed to be kind of like be able to lock into place, but they don't. And that's the only gripe that I have. Other than that, and then sometimes this comes off easy. Other than that, though, yeah, I like the figure. I think he looks great. I mean, he's going on the shelf. Oh, but we forgot to do one more comparison. Let's pause.